The rapid economic growth of the 1950s led to a surge in tourism transportation demand, prompting the urgent need for improvements on the Chuo Line, which runs through the mountainous region of the Chubu area, rich in tourism resources. While the electrification and track improvements on the Chuo East Line progressed relatively quickly, the Chuo West Line lagged behind. With a nationwide increase in semi-express DMUs, the transition to DMUs began with the semi-express Shinano and evolved into the express Shinano. During the major timetable revision in October 1961, which saw a significant increase in express services, there was anticipation that a new express would finally be established on the Chuo West Line. However, this did not materialize. On the mountainous route with consecutive steep gradients, the heavy DMU limited expresses were slower than the express DMU, and even reducing the number of stops did not provide sufficient differentiation. As a solution, JNR developed the KiHa 90 and KiHa 91, powerful DMUs designed for mountainous lines, and was preparing for their practical use. In 1966, the 181 series limited express EMU Azusa debuted on the Chuo East Line, further widening the disparity with the Chuo West Line. Introducing limited express services to the Chuo West Line became an urgent task, leading to the development of the 181 series. The 500 horsepower engine drive system in the KiHa 91 was not fully refined when it was launched, but with JNR's worsening financial situation, increasing express services was a necessity. To supplement the radiator using running wind for cooling, which only had a cooling capacity for 400 horsepower, an auxiliary radiator with forced cooling was installed under the middle bogie, adopting a cooling system capable of fully covering the normal maximum output of 590 horsepower. Improvements were also made to the newly adopted control system to meet the major timetable revision in October 1968. Achieving an approximate 40-minute reduction in travel time compared to the express era, this was an unprecedented reduction for a mountainous route with the same maximum speed, drawing attention as a speed improvement comparable to EMUs. Despite initial failures, stability gradually improved, maintaining high ridership rates and becoming a cash cow for the deficit-laden JNR, earning recognition as the new ace of the mountainous lines. In the October timetable revision of the following year, plans were made to increase the maximum speed from 95 km per hour to 120 km per hour, enhance curve passing speeds, and further speed up the Shinano. They aimed to shorten the travel time from the current 4 hours and 11 minutes to approximately 3 hours and 40 minutes. To explore this potential, speed improvement tests were conducted on the Chuo West Line to investigate the impact on the track. However, the newly mass-produced train models were limited in number, and there were no spare cars. This is where the KiHa 91 came into play. Its basic structure was the same as the 181 series, allowing for cooperative operation. KiHa 91 No. 3 was coupled with one of the few spare KiHa 181 No. 3. In July 1969, these two car formations were tested for 120 km per hour operation and a 20 km per hour improvement in curve passing speeds over 3 days. While there were straight sections on the Chuo West Line where 120 km per hour could be achieved, improving curve passing speeds proved difficult. Later, when the 181 series was deployed on the Hakubi line, similar curve speed improvement tests were conducted. However, the significant lateral pressure on rail required substantial track reinforcement, making it impractical. Ultimately, it was determined that the Shinano would require 3 billion yen for track improvements to achieve a 30-minute reduction in travel time, leading to the term 1 billion yen per minute and articles highlighting the challenges of speed improvement. In the timetable revision at that time, 120 km per hour operation was not implemented, limiting track improvements to certain sections, and only by tightening the loose running time was it barely possible to cut travel time below 4 hours. On the other hand, the 181 series Shinano experienced its first full summer this year. Having only operated since the previous October, it had only experienced the cool seasons of autumn and winter, leading to increased troubles as temperatures rose. The lead car, which lacked radiator using running wind for cooling, used a fan for forced cooling of the radiator in the engine room, driven by a hydrostatic drive system. This system differed from the fluid coupling and belt-driven mid-bogies, a method adopted since the KiHa 60. The significant distance between the oil pump and oil motor might have contributed to increased troubles. The lead cars had a higher proportion of cooling system troubles compared to the mid-bogies, likely due to unfamiliarity with the new fan drive system. The rise in exhaust temperature caused cracks from the engine to the piping, leading to white smoke from the adhered oil, causing alarms. In sections requiring full-speed shifting operation, prolonged use of the torque converter resulted in heating of the torque converter oil, which automatically triggered an engine shutdown for that car. If even one engine cut out, it led to longer shifting operations for the other cars, creating a vicious cycle of engine cuts and potentially rendering the train inoperable. With already insufficient spare cars, any failures meant that the only solution was to shorten the train formation, which posed significant challenges in handling pre-sold reserved tickets amid high occupancy rates. To maintain transport capacity and high revenue, JNR utilized the KiHa 91. In terms of performance, there were no issues with cooperative operation. The problem lay in passenger amenities. Using express cars meant increased seating capacity, potentially boosting revenue. The seats were narrow, similar to conventional express cars, and these non-air-conditioned cars were added to express trains in the peak summer, completely disregarding passenger comfort. Moreover, the designated seat charges remained unchanged with no discounts offered, reflecting the monopolistic practices of JNR at the time. This was characteristic of the national champion attitude prevalent then. During the tourist season, the priority to secure transportation capacity was so high that it highlighted the critical role express trains played at that time. Reluctant to run non-air-conditioned cars in the peak summer heat, the only air-conditioned KiHa 91-8 was preferentially included in the formation. Thus, the 181 series continued to operate the Shinano Express with the help of the KiHa 91. Due to the high demand for the Shinano, plans were made to increase services to 3 round trips and to extend direct services to Kansai, leading to an increase in the 181 series fleet. Consequently, the incorporation of the KiHa 91 ended, and the Shinano returned to its original formation. Previously, the Limited Express Kodama had operated with the 153 series for limited express services, but this involved replacing the entire formation. With significantly different gear ratios, cooperative operation between express and limited express cars was not feasible. Despite the persistent issues and being shunned by field operators, the KiHa 91 redeemed itself during this period. Even as a prototype, its design for 120 km per hour allowed it to make a significant contribution. The brief moment of glory for the KiHa 91 when incorporated into express service went largely unnoticed amid the steam locomotive boom. Afterward, the KiHa 91 fulfilled its role as an express DMU, but it never shook off its reputation for persistent troubles. Deployed to the Takayama line, it completed its duties for a while, before ultimately being retired. Due to accounting issues, its scrapping was delayed, but its life was short-lived.